In human society, one of the functions of leadership seems to be apportionment of the largesse. And the leaders feel an interest in this that goes beyond anything normal or natural. This is their action. This is what they live for. If people do not kowtow to, it's one way they enforce their authority. If people do not kowtow to their wishes, they will definitely restrict someone, and they also use it as a political tool, of course. This kind of ties into things like debtors' prisons and things like that. Anybody who's in prison for smoking pot is actually in debtors' prison because they didn't pay a tax. The Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 is all about taxation of marijuana. It's nothing having to do with making it illegal because our Constitution strictly enforces your right, our rights, to use the plants and animals of the earth in ways that don't harm other people or things in general. So we are allowed to farm just anything that grows here or grows naturally or that we can come up with. And the biotech companies that are creating all these little buggies, they make their own out of nothing. And there's no restrictions whatsoever on those, like the biotech that was created in Rockville, Maryland to eat oil, and it was used to make the oil less viscous, so it made it pump easier. Well, that was down in the BP wells. They injected it in wells after it was developed artificially by computer. It's a totally artificial DNA strand that eats carbon, and it's also antibiotic resistant. Now it's loose because of the BP disaster. It's all kinds of loose in the Gulf, and they're worried about it getting up into the jet streams and going worldwide. And then, of course, because it's an artificially created organism, they're going to have some sort of vaccine for this that I don't think the whole world will be able to. I think it's actually a plague scenario for the whole world. But I'm rather getting off the track here. The leaders in America are definitely prone to elitism, and it's very difficult to have American ways, American ideals, when you have this wannabe royalty operating, and that's exactly what it is. You have second and third generation politicians now everywhere. I don't need to sit here and expound on that. You know about the Bush family, and here in New York just recently we had Junior being voted in as governor. His daddy was already governor, Andrew Cuomo, but those are just two we definitely, Gore, look at Al Gore, he was definitely one. Royalty itself is well entrenched here in America. Actual royalty, like knights of England, British knights. Ronald Reagan was a British knight. Bill Gates is a British knight. Billy Graham, and this is all for doing service for England. That's how come they are knighted. That's why they are made knights. They're given these awards because they did service for England. Now that should tell everyone right there that that's probably not service for America. I wouldn't say. And if you go to Wikipedia and look up British Knights, or look it up in other places, but Wiki definitely has a list, you'll be amazed at the people that have these titles now and had them down through time. Actually, you can put a scenario together, an agenda scenario, and you'll see just exactly what's been going on here. The war never stopped. The revolution stopped, and then their war actually began.